There is a big difference between the person who is copywriting for 90 days and the person who is copywriting and improving over the course of 90 days. But aren't both improving technically? Yes, but the guy who is not only copywriting and staying consistent for 90 days and improving slash revising their work, that is where the biggest changes happen. And you hear a lot of the greats talk about practice like you play. While I think that's great advice, it's also very, very difficult to do. And so the honest truth that I've found is that I've seen the biggest improvements while working with the clients. I'm not saying don't practice for 90 days. That is critical that you're writing copy and getting all the junk out. But I can say after those 90 days, not only revising, but playing in the game, playing with a client, working with a client, and writing their copy is where you will see the biggest improvements. Now, into a subcategory of that, how, if I don't have a client, how am I supposed to improve? And this is kind of where it can get tricky. And there's only really 3 ways to do this. Number 1 is find a mentor. Find somebody who has done it already and can teach you live. There's tons of groups out there. I have one in my description if you need. Just find someone that is doing what you want to be doing. I mean, that's a no-brainer. You get to ask them directly, what isn't working, what am I doing right, what am I doing wrong, etc. Number 2 is, again, I would say find a community of people. You need to find people who are where you're currently at and where you want to be. It's not super complicated. You also would get that networking aspect of things where you get to ask people, hey, what are you doing? What's working? Let's compare copy. Let's revise each other's work. And the third kind of falls into what I just said. It's finding peers and revising off of their work. You need either someone or compare your work to previous swipe file. There's a book called Take Their Money, and there's a swipe file in there that I compare my own work to all the time. And so you need to find those people who are, again, succeeding. It kind of goes back to the mentor thing, that are already succeeding at what you're doing, and steal their ideas a bit. Obviously, don't completely rip it off, but use some of their work in your own, right? And really understand why it's so good. And a good way to do that is also reading out loud. A lot of the copywriting books talk about that. When you read it out loud, you can hear the flow that these writers are writing in, their tone that they're writing in. And then you understand why they're making so much money. It's because that tone is perfection. And you really don't realize that until you're comparing and revising that copy over those initial 90 days. That is, as far as improving, that is the most important 3 couple of things that you need to be doing. I can also confidently say that working with a client is where it gets real. That's where you will really, really be tested. And it's important to get as many clients as you can. I know it's not easy, but make a personal brand, outreach every single day. It's much easier at my stage, where I'm not saying I'm super popular, but I have 500 followers on Instagram. I have a profile picture. I have videos I'm uploading where I'm talking about topics I'm passionate about. I have a bit more authority than the average viewer or the average person watching this video, and that's just a fact. And so you need to give yourself as much authority as possible, and personal brands really, really help with that. I had a new idea where I was going to revise copy, and I think that would really help some people out. And it, again, just plays into the authority aspect of things, where if I send an outreach message to a client or a potential client, and they see that I've been copywriting for 100 days on YouTube, I mean, who are they going to pick, me or the guy with no profile picture, not sending value outreach? Like, it's a no-brainer. So that's all I got for the video. Thank you guys for watching. See you tomorrow.